Hi, and welcome to the 2021 Economic Depression and Preparation channel. I'm your host, Tony. Thank you for joining me once again. I just wanted to come on briefly and to share with you some data that happened today along with the Federal Reserve meeting. And apparently the economy is on a recovery trend, although the numbers and the lines at different stores will say otherwise. But we have gotten partial stimulus, not just to individuals, but to businesses, and hospitality and retail sectors and other sectors have been improving. So that is the good news, is that there is still time. The good news is that most of us are still in our right minds. We're still healthy. We're blessed. We're doing the things that we need to do as to prepare for what's coming in the future. Please be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and please be on the lookout for next month. We're going to be revamping the video formats to include more scenery, and at the suggestion of some of you guys in the comments. And so we're going to be doing that. Look out for it next month in the meantime. So let's get right into it today, guys. We have a situation where the economy is starting to recover, according to one Fed chairman, but Janet Yellen, Treasury Secretary, U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, says that she sees post-health crisis growth possible in 2022, full employment. But at the same time, it's contradictory information because we have interest rate hikes. As you know, the 10-year home sales that came out today fell sharply in February as supply dropped by the largest amount on record, according to CNBC today. Closing sales of existing homes in February dropped a larger than expected 6.6%, according to the National Association of Realtors. That put them at a seasonally adjusted rate of 6.2 million units compared with last year, February 2020. The supply of homes for sale fell 30% year over year, the largest annual decline ever, to 1.03 million homes. Well, naturally, mortgage rates are going up now. It's up closer to 3.4% from a record low 2.1%, 2.2% back last year before this health crisis started. And so can you imagine the cusp of the home crisis that we're going to be experiencing when all these homes come on the market, flood the market, and when we experience this coming storm? There's a storm on the horizon that's coming with between the housing collapse, the bond and credit collapse, right? And also in hyperinflation. That is the trifecta tornado storm that is heading toward the U.S. And that's what I'm trying to get everyone to prepare for in incremental stages, because you can't prepare for this in a week or a year. It takes several months of planning to prepare for this, because it's going to be a multifaceted storm. Because eventually, as you know, there is no free lunch in America. There's no such thing as free money. The stimulus is coming to an end. The $1,400 may very well be the last stimulus check that some of us receive during the course of this recovery, quote unquote. So that means that beginning next year, rate hikes, interest rate hikes, hyperinflation is going to begin to set in, and the job market is not going to recover, as we have 40 million people still unemployed. Now, and a lot of people that are working from home, they're having to do double duty by teaching their kids, if they have young kids or small kids, teaching their kids at home, with the school being closed for longer, as they try to get everybody, quote unquote, vaccinated. So this is going to be a major storm that's on the horizon. And today, and that's not to even count hurricane season that starts in June, because the Federal Reserve said today they set up panels to examine risks that climate change poses to the financial system. The Fed has moved forward on the climate change issue. They announced today 2 committees to deal with the impacts. As you know, we've had storms in Texas in the winter this year. We've had wildfires in California. We've had all of these sustainable things that are unsustainable things that's going to happen with the climate, and we don't have the money to deal with it anymore. So FEMA is dealing with, on any given year, over 700 climatological disasters just in the United States alone. And with other places flooding, like Hawaii, the catastrophic flooding, that's going to have to be dealt with, all kinds of things. So the central bank is going to get involved in pumping money to help fight climate change. Can you believe that? So all of this debt creation that we're seeing, the $30 trillion of debt, is going to increase by next year to up to 35 trillion with the infrastructure, the climate change bill that the Democrats want to pass in this House and Senate, and then with the executive orders that President Biden is passing in just his first 100 days. All of this is going to add to the debt, and the debt's just going to become insurmountable for the United States. And that's why the economy storm is going to come. It's going to come in like a thief in the night. If to use a biblical reference here, when you least expect it, things are going to drop, and you're not going to have access to high limits of credit, different things of that, as the banks are going to seize up, and that's going to become the liquidity crisis. And so continue to prepare, continue to get those supplies you need, whether it's food, water, medicine, housing, security. Those items are going to last, and I'm starting to back away from saying a lot of gold, silver, and crypto for the simple fact that that's still in the system. And remember, people who tell you to go get gold and silver, those has to be priced in dollars or whatever the going currency is. And when the currency fails, guess what? You're not going to get the market rate for your gold and silver that you're storing because it's based in the currency, the dollars, okay? So I would not put too much stock into that. Cryptos are okay, but remember, that's also in the system. This depression is going to come down to what physical assets you have in your hands that you have stored underground. Just like when this tornado is coming, you want to get below ground or in the ditch underground. When this financial tornado hits America, you want to get physical, hard, tangible assets that you can hunker down, bolt down to the ground. Land, is great. Water, food, security, medicine, shelter, storage shelters, storage places. All that's going to become very vital when this thing hits. You don't want to be waiting in line like these people for supplies, for generators or anything like that, because you're not going to be able to get it as we go through the supply shortage. The supply shortage, ladies and gentlemen, is going to last through 2024. Basically through President Biden's whole first term presidency, if he gets a second term, is going to last. And so that's why I'm telling you to get the supplies now. Don't want to be one of those people who want to be waiting in line for the last minute trying to get supplies, or in a big city, because you know how that is. And crime is going to go up. You heard about all of the different shootings in Colorado and all of that. Because crime is going to go up, cities, counties, states are going to spend more money on what they call drones and automatic policing. As you can see that technology coming now. Instead of having cops and everybody on the street, they're going to consolidate these police departments. In every little town or city, township, are not going to have a police department. They're going to consolidate the police department. You're going to be hearing a lot about this coming up toward the latter half of this year, about a need for a sort of a quote-unquote federal police force and a consolidation of the police force and a more automation and automatic police force where they have drones and robots, a watchdog surveillance type of system. That's going to be coming out. So that's also that's part of the infrastructure bill that you're going to see that Biden's going to push. And that's also going to break this economy down into a depression. So while Main Street is in a depression, Wall Street and others won't be as affected as bad because the top 1% still have the money. It's just a transfer of money to different hands. Okay. That's what they call it, a wealth transfer. But for the rest of us, it's going to be a pretty rough 10 years, 20 to 12 years coming up here. But we will make it if we have a plan and if we're sensible and use common sense and live below our means. So thank you very much for joining me on this short episode today. I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. This is Priest to Me, Tony signing off. Have a blessed night. Have a blessed day. I'll talk to you very soon.